Shedeur Sanders would spit on you if he saw you.
Oh, you think so?
You a broke boy. Travis Hunter lets anybody walk over him. Look at his girlfriend. I'm not listening to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter girlfriend would punch him in the face and he'd be like, sorry, baby. I'm not listening to nothing about Travis Hunter.
All right.
Shedeur! We traded up to get Shedeur. I don't know. Like, there's literally no reason for him to drop.
Didn't
Why?
we tell y'all
There's-
months ago? Didn't we tell y'all?
My wrist been up. My wrist been up for years. Man. My wrist been up for years.
All part of the plan.
Draft him in the 5th round though. When we could have had him in the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th.
None of that matters now.
No.
But we got him.
But what is the reason for Shedeur Sanders?
There's not a single reason that's valid. There's no valid reason, bro.
I don't think Shedeur's character itself is a valid excuse to say he dropped, but I do think his pre-draft decisions should have been different. I understand why he skipped the combine, and I see a lot of people using that as an excuse. Oh, he skipped the combine.
When you're projected top 10, you don't really
none of
mandatory.
the top quarterback prospects in the past 3 or 4 years have done anything at the combine. Like, not a single one of them. Jaden Daniels didn't throw last year. He was there in straight sweats. Same thing with Bryce Young when he went one. Caleb Williams didn't do anything last year. Caleb Williams, I would argue, was his pre-draft decisions were crazy last year the way he was talking. But I didn't hear the same type of thing. So I don't think that's a valid excuse. But him not going to the Senior Bowls, okay, I understand that to an extent.
There's no reason, like, all these fake news coming out about him and his interviews and stuff. We can't tell what's real and what's not. But there's no team that's actually publicly came out, an actual team or a coach that says Shedeur had a bad interview or he's too cocky. We don't like him. He's not good for us. Everybody that has a quarterback already is saying they don't know why he's not drafted. It was almost blackball of the century.
Trying to choose between what's true and what's not true about what information is getting leaked by teams is kind of hard to do.
Impossible.
I heard that he was, not prepared for the Giants interview, but Brian Daboll has a history of testing rookie QBs coming into the draft process. So if he wasn't prepared for that, I don't really know.
And also, like, the Giants traded back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. I mean, but you can't really take, like, maybe Shedeur's not good. No, he's better than Jackson Dart. He's better than half of the QBs, over half of the QBs, probably just behind Cam Ward and arguably some other people. But the Giants have a history of being terrible GMs and all of that.
Making terrible decisions for sure.
And there are clips of them, like, reviewing draft, like last year they were baiting the receivers to get them, Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, he's baiting all of them to try to get them to say, like, your quarterback is not good. It was a bad throw.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And this one idea came on my own. Like, the other thing is for ratings. You feel me?
He's still
The thing about who's watching the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round of the draft, right? Nobody watched it. So boom, we're gonna say Shedeur for the 5th round. They could probably call everybody across the whole country. Hey, don't even draft this dude, bro. Wait till the 5th round. Trying to get some more money.
And more people watching the draft in general just for Shedeur and the Trav.
Nasty work, Drew. Nasty work.
Feel me though?
Nasty work.
Get a word in right now.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I threw him the lob. They don't even know.
Xander don't even know nothing, Brady.
Man, they got me.
He's not even contributing.
They got me.
This is the biggest draft slide of all time. Literally.
For what reasons? The real reasons.
Never seen anything like
What do you think the real reasons
We're not
is?
going to sit here and
Speak
act
on the
like
real reasons right fast.
Shedeur isn't a jerk.
A jerk?
A
How
jerk
is
is
he a
crazy.
You're part of the reason he
Hold on.
slid.
Okay, hold on. No. Stop.
Jerk is
Stop
crazy.
that.
You didn't even know him.
Because, like, it's like sometimes it's like, all right, Shedeur is a really cool dude. And then other times it's like, bro, I wouldn't want this guy in my locker room either.
Cite me specific moments.
I was about to say
you're talking
an example.
Specific moments. Don't draft me if you're not looking to change the franchise. Bro, you're a rookie quarterback.
He said that?
Don't draft me unless you want to win games.
That's not what he said.
That's
Okay.
an example. That's like saying the same thing.
It is.
Don't draft me unless you want to change the culture and change the franchise. If you want to be better, don't draft me unless you want to be better.
All right, I'll hear that argument.
That's
got me.
quite literally what he's saying. If you listen to the full
Now,
quote.
other times that I
But-
believe that Shedeur Sanders is a jerk. When he's hanging out with Cam Ward, and I know him and Cam Ward are friends, so we're going to take this lightly. But when he's hanging out with Cam Ward and they bicker, we bicker all the time. Whatever. I'm not tripping about that.
Probably
but
said
when
worse
he's
things than I
wrong
was said in the
and
beginning.
his attitude problems, bro, why you getting water? We're not even done with the first drill yet.
That's not what he said. The workout was done.
No, it wasn't. That's
Are you crazy?
no, that was a different video. You probably haven't
Bro,
seen.
we talking about a video
Like, bro, I'm
that
talking
his
about-
brother posted.
I'm just being honest.
What is his
like
proof?
that stuff? All that stuff. You don't think GMC?
I ain't got my whistle.
But
on me.
why would that matter? Why would that matter, bro?
I understand like media
Because you gotta-
most everybody, but like that
Half
you
of
with your dude.
But like half of it is like
Come on,
is a
like,
quarter.
come on, bro.
Like half of being a quarterback is being able to have leadership in the locker room. If you taking breaks and cut and not working out your full workout, what you think the rest
So
of your
if
team?
you
doing?
Because-
have rehearsal with your boys
No,
and your
bruh.
band, and you decide, hold on, let me scroll on reels real quick, or let me get a sip of water. Real
The
quick.
rest of them
My
gonna
throat's a
do the
little
same
parched.
thing, and the
They
whole
gonna say
rehearsal
something,
gonna be skewed.
But mind you, it's your rehearsal. If you're thirsty, you can get some water. It's your rehearsal. You can do what you want. And then him bickering, going back and forth with Cam Ward, they're friends.
Yeah, no,
that's
I
like
have no-
us
I
being
don't
on the
really care
game,
about
and then we take that, and that's who we really are.
Yeah, no.
It don't
Like I
need-
said, the argument
Like,
with
keep
Cam
all
isn't-
game
no,
audio
like,
off the
I'm
internet.
just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say the truth of the matter. You saying he stopped for water in a workout is not a good enough excuse for the simple fact that everybody stops workouts for water.
That was.
But I see what you're
that
saying
was
though,
the
because
thing.
that's how some people are viewing it. They're viewing it negatively. Like
By the
I want to
clips.
change the franchise and the culture. Like they're spinning it and making it negative because they're trying to find a reason on why he should drop.
You're adding like the perspective of the media, which doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, but it seems like the perspective of the media is closer to what the NFL GMs are saying. Because all we want to do is see good football be played, but because we don't have to deal with the players inside the locker room.
Well,
But-
I want you to understand as well, like the NFL leaks info because they want a narrative put out about a certain player. So whatever they leak and that the media says is
Right.
because of a NFL source, a GM source, a trusted source by Joel Klatt, Colin Cowherd, Todd McShay. Those guys are media media heads in the media. The NFL wanted this to happen.
The one that
for
puts their
a
own
plethora of
agenda.
reasons. But I mean, when it comes to Shedeur falling for me, I think it's a multitude of reasons for the reasons he fell. I do think his pre-draft decisions had something to do with it. I think who his father is had something to do with it. I do think there was some racism that went on. I think it was for ratings too, like Drew was talking about. And then I mean then some of it just comes down to propaganda, bro. Just narratives that are put out there that we know are not true. at
Like,
the end
how
of
is he
day.
the most cocky, selfish person? He gets drafted in the 5th round, being projected top 5 for months, and he's still saying, "Thank God, I'm so glad I'm drafted." He's running around, he's jumping in the pool
Yeah.
with the Browns hat on. Come on, bro.
Yeah, if we're talking about that's what I say when it comes to propaganda. When I say propaganda, like the narrative out there that Shedeur is not a good guy or he's a bad guy in any way is what I feel like is propaganda. Because if you look at Shedeur, like I said, I was talking about earlier, let's look at other draft process in the past. We saw Baker Mayfield get arrested for public indecency. If Shedeur Sanders ever did that, he wouldn't even be playing college football.
But I think
Real.
that
He-
low-key goes back to race too.
He wouldn't even be playing college. Yeah, he wouldn't even be playing college football anymore. The thing is, my problem is the fact that you've never seen Shedeur Sanders with a gun. You've never seen him with alcohol. You've never seen him with any type of illegal substance. You've never seen him with weed. You quite literally have never seen him do anything except put up his watch
I wanna say
and
this-
wear flashy chains. But you want to say that is a big character issue. But Baker Mayfield, I saw Baker Mayfield grab his nuts at a crowd with kids in the stands. Like, come on, bro. We got to be realistic here. Johnny Manziel, like these is dudes
Hey,
I like.
Johnny
Like,
Manziel was crazy.
it's not like it's any hate to
Browns
like that's what I'm saying. Like
going on?
It's not like I'm like really saying like, oh, those guys are horrible people. But I'm saying Shedeur Sanders is not given the liberty to be able to be human in these situations. I feel like.
And I also feel like quarterbacks are graded on a curve when it comes to the overall class. I feel like teams won't take a lot of quarterbacks in the first round if they feel like the class is weak, which was obviously shown from the draft class that went on this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I also believe that Shedeur is not a normal quarterback. Let's say that. He's a little cocky. He's a little arrogant. He got
cocky?
some swagger to him.
Is it cocky or confident?
I think you can take it
say
as
a little
both.
bit of both. I
Mind
guess.
you,
I think you
dude
take it
is
as both
good,
from
too.
from different ways that people like have experienced life.
we aren't gonna sit here and act like Shedeur is the perfect prospect, anyways. Like,
I think he's a good quarterback prospect.
yeah, like I think he's a good quarterback, but it's fair to see that NFL's GMs don't want to take the shot on the guy who could be good, he could be decent, he could be terrible. You have no idea. And then on top of that, like his dad everything he does, the
What
way that he
about that?
acts,
What
his
about that?
arrogance.
What about that?
I mean, it's not like Dion is like
Like, what?
like Dion was flashy and arrogant when he was playing, and he's flashy and arrogant as a dad and as a coach. Like that attitude is never gonna change, and he has like open mic every week that he gets done playing football to sit there and talk about what the Browns are doing and what his son is doing. Like, you don't think that people are going to ask him questions at Colorado after the game? Like, how do you think Shedeur Sanders did? Or do you think the Browns should lean towards Shedeur Sanders? Do you think Shedeur Sanders could help them get this W against blah, blah, blah? Like, it's going to be those questions every week.
Okay.
I like how you saying that because the Browns have dealt with probably the most propaganda-filled quarterback of all time. Deshaun Watson with 23 open cases.
What I'm saying too, and the specific thing is like, you yourself, you really think that Deion Sanders himself is going to initiate the conversation about Shedeur, though?
No, but also I don't think that he wouldn't tweet about it. I don't think he would not.
And if he doesn't, his son is the 5th round pick, right? It's not like he's a 1st round pick, so he's not expected to even make the team.
Yeah, that's
so the expectations are lower. So Deion really can't say anything if his son was a 5th round pick.
And I also don't think that Deion's going to.
And also, I want to
involved as people think.
And I want to talk about why Shedeur.
He's been involved. Wait, hold on. He's been involved this whole career. Why wouldn't he be involved?
I mean, he was
now?
his coach and his father.
I don't think he's going to be as involved as you are saying that he's going to tweet after every game, that he's going to get on there and
I
talk
agree with that
after
too.
every single game. That's
Not
I don't
every
think-
single game.
I don't think it's even going to be most games.
LeVar?
I think that Deion Sanders is the head coach at Colorado, and that's what he's going to be this season.
And he's been his head coach and his father his whole career.
And that's fine. I can hear that. But if you even look at during Colorado's spring session, how many interviews have you seen Deion Sanders really talking about Shedeur or Travis or anybody that just got done with Colorado? It's been nothing but him talking about people that are currently on the team. He's talking about Caden Salter. He's talking about Juju Alfred, say Juju Watkins, but he's talking about little brother freshman. Like, he's talking about people that are currently on the team. He talks about Draylon Miller.
Crazy.
Like,
Miller,
I don't think it's gonna be what people think.
Like, bro, it's actually crazy, bro. There's like Tyler Show had the worst combine rep of all time. I see. There's clips that he's throwing underhand passes with defenders on him. Like, he's literally prime Will Levis in college, bro.
Yeah.
and we're taking him over.
He's scared
Shedeur.
of contact.
No,
So would you? I mean, he's been injured a lot.
I mean, he's a
That's
quarterback.
fair.
But his arm is probably the best in the club besides Cam Ward.
not hearing that.
That's a hot
I
take.
think I'm being completely honest. I think it's a little better than Shedeur's arm.
In what way?
That's a really hot
Strength.
take.
Strength. Yeah.
That's it.
I
You
think
think he got better arm than Milroe or Dart?
Milroe is
Milroe got-
a huge project.
I mean, when you
Monkey
36,
strength. We're talking about
expect
pure
you to
arm
launch it.
strength.
yeah, I mean, when you're
Hey.
27 in college,
That's what
I
I'm saying.
expect you to have a good arm.
I would expect you to
Might have
launch
to
it.
cut that.
What?
But it's going to translate well because he has a good arm. But
What?
I only have one more thing to say about why Shedeur fell, and we didn't mention this yet. Teams did not evaluate him. Obviously, once he fell to the first round, like past the first round, teams didn't see him as a starting quarterback. Okay, cool. But now when you're
wouldn't say that.
evaluating him as a backup quarterback, do you want that media attention of Shedeur from your backup quarterback? Do you want that in your room with your starting quarterback?
Is this
Do you want
about him
that-
dropping?
Yeah.
But you're not going to draft the backup quarterback.
It's a little bit of the Cam Newton situation where, like, you can't bring Cam
Exactly,
Newton in.
like when Bill Belichick cut Cam Newton after Mac Jones won
or
the
the
job.
reason Cam Newton won't get signed now, or when he wasn't getting signed when he actually was in pursuit of getting played. Like, you can't bring Cam Newton in to be your backup.
It's just too
It'll
much
never
media
work out.
attention about why is Shedeur not the starting quarterback or when is he going to be the starting quarterback. Teams didn't want that, but the Browns is the perfect situation because it's an open competition.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I definitely think that's one of the reasons. But I mean, I feel like it also does go back to, like, there was some hate for his dad.
No, for sure.
Draft process too.
I think that's the main reason why he dropped because of his hate for his dad. The way his dad went about the combine process, he ran in some Timbs. Didn't answer any questions at the draft process.
He said, "I'm not stretching.
I'm not taking no clothes off."
I hopped out the limo. I ran my 4.2 and I got out of there, man. But
They probably took that the wrong way.
Also, did you hear that his dad, that Dion, was Shiloh and Shedeur's agent?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's probably another reason why they fell so far.
I mean,
They
you can
asked
say
for
that because
percentages
the way he went about the draft
that's
process is
not right.
only because of his agent and his QB coach, Darrell, the light skinned ball
Real
dude.
Doucette? No, I'm just.
He told him to go. He told Shedeur to participate in the Shrine Bowl, at least the Shrine Bowl.
Yeah.
At least a Shrine Bowl, because he would have dominated.
No, I
you're
don't-
this highly accurate quarterback, the most accurate quarterback in the class. Why would you not show that in a throw around session?
No, I personally don't have a problem with Shedeur's pre-draft, like what the things he did. I personally don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
But if you're Shedeur Sanders and you are under a huge microscope and you're over-examined, that's not the right decisions to make, is what I will say. You can't skip the Shrine Bowl. You can't skip the Senior Bowl. And actually, no, skipping them is fine. But going there
and not participating,
that's an issue. Not throwing and participating at the combine, that's a non-issue.
I thought it was real interesting. He chose the Shrine Bowl over the Senior Bowl. I get the Shrine Bowl because his Colorado players were there and they got invited to the Shrine Bowl.
Yeah.
But you need to worry about your career. And you trying to get your teammates up. They got drafted. All three of them receivers got
That was
on the NFL
surprising.
team.
I didn't expect them to get drafted.
I did.
Not all of them.
I don't know why.
I
feel like it just shows Shedeur's he's not selfish, man. He's all about the team. That just shows it even more, honestly. If the reason he went to the Shrine Bowl was to put on for his Colorado teammates, then yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. So what is the Browns draft rating? A through F.
I thought he was gonna talk about that first. A plus.
A plus.
A plus.
Think about it. We
Man,
drafted down and got one of the best player at his position.
The best D tackle in the class.
Unquestionable. The best
Okay.
D tackle in the draft.
Okay.
5.
To pair him again with
Miles Garrett.
top edge rusher.
Okay.
And
Hot take.
that trade got us.
What's a hot take?
Miles Garrett is the best edge rusher?
I said top edge rusher.
Okay.
Top 3.
You said best.
He's top
I didn't say-
one.
he's top
Even-
He's top 2. He's top 2.
I didn't
One.
say anything.
I didn't say best.
I didn't
I said
say
top.
anything about Miles Garrett. I
I
said,
didn't
what's
say
a hot
you.
take?
I said top.
But I'm saying you said he said
Go ahead,
best.
keep on, bro.
And that trade got us a first round pick next year. Harold Fanning.
Okay.
Who else? Dylan Sampson.
Okay.
And got us Shedeur.
Okay.
Wait, Quinshon Judkins.
And Quinshon.
No, I will rate the Browns draft a solid A. I think that you guys absolutely wasted a draft pick on Dylan Gabriel.
That's the only flaw we had.
Actually, now I got to give you an A
But
minus.
there's,
Now I got to give you
there's
an A
some
minus.
justification. There's some justification there.
No,
'cause
there's not.
Next year we're not gonna have Joe Flacco or Kenny
So
Pickett.
drafted another quarterback next year.
Wait. Can we
could, or-
understand that Dylan Gabriel is going to be a backup quarterback and he's going to be used
Maybe.
to draft an
And
asset?
at the same time, why not take a guy that finished third in the Heisman rating?
For no
Heisman
reason.
race. Huh?
For no reason.
Okay, we live
But
by
he's-
we live by best available on our board.
Okay, best available.
God forbid Shedeur sucks, then we got Dylan.
The best available on your board
Okay.
would have been Shedeur Sanders.
But I'm saying
That's why we took him
Why
in the
didn't y'all
first
take
round.
him?
We have
I can't-
we have DK Metcalf and George Pickens. You put Shedeur Sanders into the fire, the locker room is a mess.
In the fire.
the locker room is okay. Bad propaganda.
That's
bro.
not propaganda.
I'm not doing this.
That's literally not
Listen,
propaganda.
Okay,
And Darius Slay.
what?
When was DK just a locker room cancer?
He's not. He's an on the field cancer. He
Okay,
crashes out.
What is wrong with? How is Shedeur going to ruin the locker room or the on field?
He's a jerk.
You've lost your mind.
You don't remember when there was
He
people
said
talking
Shedeur?
about they were coming up to Shedeur Sanders during the
Shedeur is a
season?
jerk.
Yes.
Yes.
If Shedeur was such a jerk,
Wholeheartedly.
why does Travis love him so much? Why do his receivers
Travis
love him so
Hunter.
much?
Travis Hunter lets anybody walk over him. Look at his girlfriend. I'm not listening to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter girlfriend would punch him in the face and he'd be like, "Sorry, baby. I'm not listening to nothing about Travis Hunter."
All right,
Stop it.
besides Travis,
Stop it.
besides
Stop it.
Besides getting
Stop
personal
it.
with Travis.
Let's
No, that's
not
what I'm
agree
saying.
with that statement.
Nobody here on here agrees with that.
Man,
Nobody on here
he can
agrees.
just-
I agree and I stand on that.
No, I'm not going for this, bro. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier with propaganda.
It's not propaganda. Shedeur Sanders is a
Colorado
jerk.
teammate that came out and said, "I hate Shedeur Sanders. He's such a jerk. He's a
There
jerk."
has been multiple people
Name
who
one.
aren't immediate. I don't know them by name. I don't know Colorado's
if
roster
you
by
can't name one,
but-
then it's not.
No, but there have been players that have been. Oh, I went to Shedeur. Oh, I went to Dion, and I got hit with this response. Oh, I got hit with this. Let's not act like that didn't happen. That has happened. These
Okay.
stories have happened.
That people got responses they didn't
and I know a guy who I forget what school he went to, but he knows the dude at my church. He knows the drummer. They went to his draft party and everything. I'm gonna ask him.
Oh,
his
I
name.
know a guy who knows a guy, so that has to be accurate.
No, but he talked about.
like this is crazy, bro.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what I've heard.
What you've heard, you don't know. You're not
You
there.
don't know either.
But I'm telling you from a
Shedeur Sanders is
a
Shedeur
jerk.
Sanders would
Is a
spit
jerk.
on you if he saw you.
Oh, you think so?
You a broke boy. Like you're
Yeah.
crazy
No,
if
hey,
you think he would
this
have
is-
any
Carson-
respect for you.
Carson Swessinger
No.
at 33.
Nah, this
Reach.
Like,
I
this
like
is
Reach.
crazy, bro.
I like Carson
Nah, this
Swessinger
is
at
crazy.
33 because
It's
you know,
not. You're just glazing him.
It's not.
Shedeur Sanders will smack
could
you across
be-
the face and not think about you twice.
But
And
why-
you sitting here
how
defending
you
him with
know
your
that's a
heart?
fact, though?
Yo, can we get back to the draft?
I'm not
Yo,
defending anybody. We can talk draft. talk.
Thank you, Nick.
I wasn't
I'm
even
going-
trying to talk about Shedeur. Y'all just kept going back to it.
No. First of all, we didn't go back to anything. He said you should have picked Shedeur. You said Shedeur would ruin the locker room,
And you you
then-
said that's crazy.
And I
Shedeur
said what? So how did we go back
He's
to
not
it?
a locker room guy.
Okay, that's not. A
He
thing
has
I
his
agree
best
with.
friend was in a locker room. That's not a locker room guy.
So why does everybody else on the team from majority report
It's
like it?
not
You
everybody else
cited-
on the team.
But
You're
I'm
just saying
you
that.
cited a hit. You cited one ESPN
Bro, Don, if he
article
could be,
because I know what you're talking
a nice
about.
guy too. Like, he
No,
could be
I
both.
know what he's talking about. I'm not on the verdict that I know who Shedeur is or
can't
anything.
define
I'm
being
talking
a
about from what I've actually seen. I can tell that the guy is not a true locker room cancer, and
And
that's
you're
not a
saying
crazy
things. I
statement
mean,
to say.
it's our opinion against yours, but we're just asking you like you have no facts to back that up.
And that's the
I just gave one,
There
and
are
just
probably-
because he said it doesn't count. Now
you
it's
said
I
you
have
know
no facts.
if
But
you're
Your
who
fact
knows
was
a guy
hearsay,
But
bro.
that's
I
what I'm
didn't
saying.
even get to
Hearsay
finish
isn't
saying
a
what I was
fact.
saying.
Hearsay isn't a fact.
The guy played for Colorado,
Okay, so that's your fact. But there's way more facts.
and I didn't even get to finish saying what I was saying.
There's way more things out there backing up him being a good teammate. than a
Say
bad teammate.
what?
Are you-
What?
him-
Nobody. You haven't
what-
brought up one.
He got
Because
hit.
the lineman literally said he didn't throw us under the bus. There's him when they lost the Nebraska game because of the O line. He literally went up to the stand and he said it was not the O line's fault. He defends his guys after every game they lose.
Clearly watching the game, it was the whole line.
And how can I have
And
a
he got
chance
three.
to talk, bro?
He had all the receivers drafted too, right? He made sure they
three.
got
Yes, but
All
I'm
three in
saying,
the league.
but I'm saying I'm going to say the problem was that you did not give a fact. You had hearsay here and hearsay there, and then you cited an ESPN article that we talked about on this podcast already, where you said multiple guys have come out and said things. It was one guy that transferred to a school in Oklahoma, and he said Deion Sanders ruined my confidence. And we had that same conversation. Zavion, when you went to D2, did them coaches build up your confidence 100% of the time? College football is not a place.
I was about
for
to
them
say, yeah,
build
you
up
can't
your
just say because
confidence.
it's Dion. That might have just been like a coach in general. Like,
But I'm saying,
that's just how college
dudes
is
go to every single school and have those same issues, but it's under a larger microscope when you go to Colorado. That's not crazy to say.
I think he would have been a good fit on the Steelers.
Like,
I
bro.
think I would have made it work.
It's just obvious. Like, he could be a jerk, but he also could be a nice
That's
guy.
what I'm
we
saying.
don't know him.
You
That's not what
But
you
you're
said.
saying as a
But
fact, like,
you
he is a
defending
jerk.
him like he's
He could.
like that's the reason why it wouldn't work. You don't think him and George Pickens wouldn't bump heads?
No.
Probably.
The first game that George Pickens feels like he's not getting targeted enough. You don't think that he's gonna have an
you
issue
just
with
that with
that?
every
let me
quarterback.
say,
Shedeur
but
isn't
you
gonna
just
say
said,
something back.
George Pickens has done that with every single
but
quarterback.
you just said George Pickens initiates it. That's literally what you just said, right? After the game, George Pickens gets mad because he doesn't get the ball.
I didn't say
That's
it would
not-
be Shedeur. I
that's
said it would
not
be
on
a
Shedeur.
combination of all three of them.
I don't think it would be a combination.
If George Pickens goes up
guess
to
what,
Will
though?
Howard,
Guess what, though? He a
if
Brown.
George
It
Pickens
don't
goes up
matter.
to Will Howard and is like,
He's a Brown. It
no,
don't matter. You have Will
Brown.
Howard.
So do you think he's
Will
gonna
Howard's a
bump heads
good
with
guy? Ain't? Hey,
No.
Will Howard a good
Why?
teammate, right? He ain't a jerk, right? So you got your guy. I bet. Hey, Carson Schlesinger at 33.
That got no word. That was
I
not
rocks with
cool.
Carson Schlesinger, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That was
JLK
not
got that
cool.
neck injury from trying to hit Derrick Henry. I ain't rocking with that. But Carson Schlesinger, a white linebacker, we low-key been needing a white linebacker.
I feel like they took him kind of high, but they
You got Clay Matthews. That's Clay Matthews in the second round.
Hey, Joe Sherbert 2.0.
he was low-key drafted kind of high, but it might have had some insight that he was probably gonna get taken.
Yeah.
I feel like you pick who you want.
And
At
he
33,
led
pick who you want.
FBS in solo tackles.
Hey, walk on.
Walk on.
He's a
Played
great
1
guy.
year.
He's a great guy.
Great guy.
He's a
great locker room guy.
He's a
ain't
great
he?
guy.
Walk
He's a
on,
great
yeah.
guy.
And then we picked up Quinshawn Judkins. Quinshawn
So hold on.
Judkins.
32 NFL teams passed on Shedeur Sanders for multiple rounds, and they sitting here acting like I'm a bad guy for saying that.
What
I
are
think
you
he's
talking
not.
about? Well, no, genuinely. what are you talking
No, we not. No,
Dondi.
Stay here.
no, I'm not doing this.
Stay here. Just stay here.
No,
Just stay
no,
here.
is this not gaslighting? I literally can't. I literally can't.
No, I'm not gonna get mad.
Listen,
because-
great guy,
great
No, I said-
That's
I
not.
said
No,
He says Schlesinger.
I said
no, stop.
I said he is a great guy. I said
All
he is
right,
a
all
great
right.
guy.
What did you say?
I respect any walk on. I'm a former walk on.
That's not what he said.
But I'm saying, no, that's like, come on, bro.
I'm a former
Come
walk
bro.
on, so I'm gonna respect any
No,
walk on.
he said he said we got a white linebacker.
All right, bro, that might be me, bro.
Like, bro,
Go
you
ahead,
just
bro.
crashed for no reason.
I didn't
bro.
crash. I had a smile on my
I just
face
know
the
how
whole
hard it
time.
is to like try to walk onto a team and actually get reps and try to get some
And
lights
But
on
I'm
and get
saying-
some
be that
respect.
successful. So,
But
like,
I'm saying,
and then we got Quinshawn, one of them backs that we needed to run every down, man.
Bell cow.
Then we go and get SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
Dylan
Come
Sam.
on, bro.
Dylan Sam.
The only thing we missing is really
I don't want to talk about
safety.
Dylan Gabriel.
You're
Dylan
missing-
Gabriel was a waste of a pick. Honestly.
that's why I gotta drop the Browns draft.
Safety
to
or
A
receiver.
minus.
That's all we
To
need.
A minus. And no, I
There were
also
no good safeties when Dylan Gabriel got drafted.
We could have had Emmenward.
That's why I was
Not
gonna say, I
Dylan
wouldn't have
Sampson.
hated Emmenward.
We need a
At
line-
that
we
pick-
need a linebacker
at
bad.
that, at that pick where you was taking Schlesinger. I wouldn't have hated that. I wouldn't have hated
I wouldn't have hated that either, but we need
I feel like that's
linebacker.
kind of high for somebody who's kind of considered.
Well,
a
what was
project.
this?
But I
Schlesinger-
think
was
I
Schlesinger
think
playing?
Emmenward is going to go crazy in Seattle. He got Kyle Hamilton's old DC. He the head coach.
I think it's gonna
there.
take a while, bro.
Nah.
He's fast, but he looks slow
I
on
think
tape.
if there's anybody to develop him, that Mike McDonald was the guy.
Yeah, I feel like he had a good DB group to work with for sure. Tariq Woolen, who's that? Kobe Bryant still there? Or
Yeah,
no?
Devin Witherspoon. Nobody care about Julian Love. Get him out of court, man. Get him out of here. We ain't worried about that.
Didn't they sign a safety to some bread last year?
Jalen Love is good.
2 years ago?
He actually is.
Oh, wasn't it Quandre
Yeah,
Diggs?
he's solid.
Quandre
I'm just
Diggs.
kidding.
You
Quandre
take him
Diggs?
over.
No, he been
You
released.
take him
Been
over that
released.
safety y'all had last year.
And then one last pick we got to talk about. Shedeur at 5. That kind of raises our bar. Like without Shedeur in the 5th round, I give our draft grade a B. Wouldn't you pick up?
Because
Shedeur?
regardless if you think he's cocky, confident, regardless if you think he's good or bad, regardless if the media is going to attract too much attention, at the end of the day, he's good at playing football.
We essentially got QB 2 or 3 in the 5th round. It can only go right.
Future QB1.
Now,
Hey, he could be future QB1,
He could
QB2,
be
don't
future
matter.
QB1.
He's a 5th round pick. Whatever, how good he plays is a benefit
you
regardless.
lose absolutely nothing. By
Nothing.
taking him in the 5th round.
No, how much money he making? 200,000. You know how much money Deshaun Watson making? 40 million. Come on, bro.